your fifth year. Are you thinking of going pro next year after the season?
Yeah, that's the plan.
Hi. What's the difference?
Guys, hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Geneva, and this is Geneva in General. Guys, yesterday, women's college basketball witnessed a major upset. Okay, when I say major, I'm talking about double major. Okay, like you double major in college. The freaking Lady Vols, okay, the Tennessee Lady Volunteers defeated UConn in yesterday's game. They have, to put it in perspective, guys, they have not beat UConn since 2007. Okay, yes, 2007. I was 12 years old. I was a seventh grader in middle school. This is the Lady Volunteers' first win versus UConn since 2007. That's how many years ago? They officially defeated UConn, guys, in 18 years. It's been 18 years since the last time the Lady Volunteers were able to go up against UConn and win. Guys, I'm sorry, but I don't want to be pessimistic. Again, I like UConn. I like the coach, Gino. He demands excellence and accuracy from his players, from these young women. And I love Paige Bueckers. I love me some Paige Bueckers down. But seeing how they got defeated, again, I believe this is their second loss of the season. It's like big whoop. It's not that bad. But I'm saying as it pertains to the upcoming championship, okay, March Madness, okay, this year already, January had us in a chokehold. I was like, when is January going to let us go? That was the longest year in January of my life, okay? But February is going by like this, okay? We got Super Bowl Sunday coming up this Sunday. Let's go Eagles, okay? We got to do what we got to do. But again, March is literally just less than a month away. Okay, March Madness. I don't foresee UConn winning a championship. They might make it into the Final Four. They might. But a championship, like, come on, get real, okay? And I really hate that because, again, Paige Bueckers has also made it clear that this is her last year being a collegiate level basketball player. She said, after this, I'm done. Okay, she's a super senior. Okay, she's 23 years of age. Okay, obviously she's young, she's a baby, but when it comes to, in reference to her being a college player, she's like, it's time for me to spread my wings. It's time for me to join the big leagues. I'm trying to be with the W, okay? I'm trying to be with the women, okay, in the WNBA. So she's going to declare herself in the draft. They said that she's going to be more than likely going to the Dallas Wings. Again, at first it seemed like, she was not feeling it. She wanted to be a LA Spark. But again, it's like now they got Alyssa Smith, they got Dejanay Carrington. Okay, they got some good pieces now on the Dallas Wings. So again, I can't wait to see what Paige Bueckers is going to do when it comes to her professional career in the WNBA as a Dallas Wing. But right now, the way that they could have won against Tennessee, again, they only lost by 4 points. Again, in my opinion, if a team was to lose 10 plus, anything that hits that double digits, it's a blowout. So they didn't get whooped too bad, but the fact is, okay, like that Brandy song, I'll keep on.
But everybody knows almost doesn't count.
I'm reiterating that everybody knows almost doesn't count. They almost won. They should have won. They could have won against Tennessee. But the reality is the reality. They didn't, okay? And this it saddens me, and it just also, it brings, like, I don't want to say they got exposed. What I'm trying to say is UConn, for some reason, they're missing something, okay? And I saw people online complaining on Twitter, like, Ice Brady was out. She's injured. I'm like, are you kidding me? Y'all think Ice Brady, again, I'm not talking about her worth as a human being. I'm not trying to talk about the young lady as a young woman, okay? She's worthless as a basketball player. She stands 6'3". Okay, Ice Brady, she is not effective at all. She has little to no impact on UConn. I feel like she's one of those girls who, like, because she's tall, she's a tall little girl, I'm sure. So obviously, she's 6'3" now as like an 18, 19-year-old. I'm sure that, like, basketball was kind of something that she was just thrust upon her. Okay, it's probably not something like she's really passionate about. It's like, what, you're 6'3", you want to go to college for free, you want a full ride scholarship. Oh, of course, nobody wants student loan debt, of course, right? They were just like, you're 6'3", you already got that height advantage. Just practice your skills here and there, and commit to UConn. Okay, play under Gino. He's an amazing coach. He's an amazing women's basketball program. You want your school to be paid for? Just go on over to UConn and play basketball. But
how you guys get to college and miss wide open layups? Seriously, how does nobody on the floor except you, the basket, and the ball, and you miss layups? That's what they do in junior high. They don't do that here. Okay?
It's like, it's not really something, it just doesn't get passionate. She doesn't have that aggressiveness that's needed. She does not have the impact that, somebody of her size, okay, and height should have in women's basketball. So I'm like, I don't want to hear none of this BS about Ice Brady was injured, okay? AZ Fudge, she had some minutes in this game. Again, she was not doing what it needs to be done. And what's crazy is in the first half, literally the first and second half, it wasn't until the end of the third quarter when Tennessee was actually starting to hit their 3 points. Because again, that first quarter, it was embarrassing. They kept on trying. They have to keep hope alive, but Tennessee was not making those 3-point shots. Okay, they had to rely on mid-range shots and getting it in the paint. And also, again, another reason why Tennessee was able to finally whoop UConn, they were smothering them girls, okay, when it came to defense. As soon as the ball would touch Paige Bueckers' hand, I would see at least 2 Lady Volunteers just around her. Okay, got to the point in the first quarter, as soon as they made that inbound pass, it was UConn's ball, they had the possession. As soon as the inbound pass came to Paige Bueckers, right on the other side of the court, 2 Volunteers just got in her face. Paige Bueckers had to take that ball, throw it all the way down the court. She threw it to, I believe, Caitlin Chin, who passed it to Sarah Strong, and Sarah Strong was able to make a layup. They know who the stars are, on that team. Paige Bueckers being a floor general, again, she's a super senior, I affectionately call her. They know as soon as the ball gets in her hand, swarm her, make her force a turnover, make her, just get her razzled up, okay? That's called technique and consistency, okay? Coach Kim Caldwell clearly studied these players. She knows who Paige Bueckers is. She knows Sarah Strong. She's 6'3". Sarah Strong is 6'2". Very strong defender. She's pretty good at, the 3-point shot. She can get mid-range games. She can also get points in the paint. So Kim Caldwell was like, you know what? It's certain players that we need to, put that defense on extra strong. But it's like, unfortunately for UConn, they didn't have anything to counteract that. It's like, yeah, they've been studying us. Okay, they came into this kind of eyes wide shut. That girl, they ain't whooped us in 18 years. It's been 2007 since, they got a W on us. And it's always been that rivalry. UConn versus Tennessee, with the fans and everything. Again, it's been a rivalry since Candace Parker was a Lady Volunteer. And it makes sense. But it's again, I don't want to say UConn was arrogant or they were just ignorant to the fact that you're not going to get an easy W, because again, this was an amazing, exciting game. It wasn't a blowout at all. Okay. It wasn't until I want to say the middle to the second to the beginning of the third quarter where you saw the Tennessee Volunteers were really stepping it up, okay? But since the first quarter, the Volunteers was on UConn Huskies. Let me just break down a little bit of the game stats. So again, the final score, guys, was Tennessee having the W. They had 80 points. The UConn Huskies 76 points. So in the first quarter, it was very, very competitive. Again, it was a competitive game all game, and I love that. It was so exciting. So in the first quarter, you had the Huskies. They scored 19 points, and the Volunteers, they scored 17 points. So the first quarter ends with the Huskies being up by 2 points. And the second quarter kicks off, okay? It was very competitive because they broke even. Both the Huskies and the Volunteers scored 20 points. And then the third quarter, this is when the Volunteers was like, you know what? We gotta have that consistency and that technique. The technique being what? Smother them on defense. The key players, such as, KK Arnold. That's another one. She's a pretty good floor general. The energy changes and shifts when KK Arnold is on that floor. They said, we're gonna have to jump Paige Bueckers, we gotta jump Sarah Strong, and jump KK Arnold. Now I ain't gonna lie, Caitlin Chin, she's a pretty good player overall, but in this game, she just wasn't as effective, okay? So in the third quarter, the Huskies scored 15 points. The Volunteers scored 22 points. And in the final quarter, the Huskies actually outscored them. See, but it was too late. Okay, it's something about that third quarter. The third quarter, it'll make or break you, right? But the fourth quarter comes, the Huskies scored 22 points. The Volunteers scored 21 points. Again, everybody knows almost doesn't count. The Huskies still lost. Let's talk about the individual game stats. So UConn, okay, Sarah Strong, she played 39 minutes. Okay, I know she was tired. She gave us 18 points. Paige Bueckers, she played 35 minutes. She gave us 14 points. AZ Fudd gave us 29 minutes. She gave us 10 points. You got KK Arnold. She played 25 minutes, gave us 11 points. Aubrey Griffin, she played for 15 minutes and gave us 9 points. Now let's talk about the Lady Volunteer scorers, the leading scorers. So Lazaria Spearman, okay, she played 25 minutes, gave us 16 points. Samara Spencer, she played 30 minutes, gave us 14 points. Ruby Whitehorn played for 29 minutes, gave up 7 points. Talasia Cooper, she played for 25 minutes and put up 11 points. Jewel Spear played for 25 minutes, put up 12 points. Sarah Puckett played for 11 minutes and gave us 6 points. Now, field goal percentages, okay, this is the team stats overall. So this is like the proof of like what was going on. So for the field goals, the Huskies went 29 for 72. Not too, I mean, let's be honest. Okay, that was bad. Tennessee, you guys, now the Volunteers, they went 32 for 70. Both of them sucked, okay? But the Tennessee Huskies, they outperformed them field goal percentages by 5 points, okay? Their field goal percentage was 45.7%, whereas the Huskies was 40.3%. Now, three-pointers, okay? This is when it was a hot mess in that first half for Tennessee. Three-pointers. Tennessee was 7 for 28, whereas the Huskies were 5 for 20. So the Tennessee Volunteers, their three-point percentage was 25% even, and also the Huskies were 25% even. So again, they literally married each other a lot during this game. Now, free throws, okay? Again, that's free money on the table. You either going to take it or you're not. Free throw percentages, or free throw shots rather, the Volunteers went 9 for 15, whereas the Huskies, they did much better. They were 13 for 14. So that free throw percentage, the Huskies were 92.9% accurate, whereas the Huskies were only 60% accurate. Now, rebounds, the Huskies had 34 rebounds, whereas the Volunteers had 46 rebounds. The Huskies had 20 assists, Volunteers had 13. Huskies had 2 blocks, the Volunteers had 3. The Huskies had 10 steals, the Volunteers had 5. The Huskies had 12 turnovers, whereas the Volunteers had 19. Yeah, them turnovers for the Huskies were, I'm sorry, not the Huskies, the Volunteers were embarrassing. And then the fouls, for personal fouls, both of them were even. Both Huskies and Volunteers had 15 personal fouls. Again, guys, it was a very exciting game of basketball hoops. Again, but the three-point shots, the three-point shooting, specifically when it comes to the Volunteers in that first half, were embarrassing. It was what it was. They still got the dub, I guess. But again, guys, this game shows me that, again, I could see the Huskies getting into the Final Four, perhaps, maybe. But if they don't make it into the Final Four, I wouldn't be surprised. But a championship ring and title for the Huskies and for Paige Bueckers. Again, she wants to get that stock as high as possible. I know she wants and really needs, and she's craving, a championship, because again, she's going to declare herself for the WNBA. She's going to be in the Big Girls League, so she needs this championship. But again, this is only, I believe, their second loss. I want to say they lost to Notre Dame, but that wasn't them. Notre Dame beat USC. I keep getting them mixed up. But at this point, as it stands, I don't see UConn winning the championship. I don't see USC winning the championship. To me, it comes down to 3 teams. Either UCLA, the Bruins, which I don't want them to win. I don't like them. I like some players on them, some key players that they have. I do like them girls. But as a team, I can't root for them. I'm sorry. It's either going to be UCLA, Notre Dame, or South Carolina Gamecocks winning this championship. Guys, comment down below your thoughts on yesterday's game. Tennessee finally beating the UConn Huskies after 18 years, right? 2007, I was 12. So, damn, it's been like 17 going on 18 years, which is crazy. Major upset. How do you guys think this will affect Paige Bueckers and, the draft? And, like, do you guys really, honestly, all my UConn Husky fans out there, comment down below. Do you believe they can actually win a title and a championship in this upcoming March Madness and the Final Four, getting to the Final Four? Comment down below.